Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy CLT here, casting a very entertaining, very exciting Group A matchup between Femboys and Coinflip. If Coinflip wins, they go to a tie for second place against Femboys and obviously would have the tiebreaker. If Femboys win, then they remain undefeated and look to have a stranglehold on this first seed, which I believe then Femvoice versus Instinct week 5 will be a a win in your first seed. So that's where we're at here. We have already started with the draft. We got Talia and Swain getting taken away from Krieger. And over here on the other side, we've got Yumi, Aurora, and LeBlanc taken away. And then we'd see Shen taken away, Shen being kind of a Brandino special, but we did see their top laner play it as well. So a little bit of a flexible ban to get rid of here. So coin flip side, we see Ari first pick. Ari still just a really good generalized mid laner. Can do a little bit of everything outside of like long distance poke. Most people are not going towards the Roa build anymore. I honestly thought the Roa build was a touch of a bait, especially after the nerfs, but before the nerfs it just felt like if you pick a late game scaling champion, then Ari doesn't do enough early to punish it. So, but we see then Femboys responding with Lucian here. So Mac taking the Lucian, and here's a legacy bot lane that we see in the Lucian Nami coming in here. So massive power lane given over to Femboys, and we see a response in coin flip with a Lulu, and something we don't see that often in a Kog'Maw here. So early game kind of lane bully doesn't scale that well for like typical ADC standards. Nami has peel against Lulu Kog'Maw, so potentially a little bit of a Juggermaw comp coming out. And we see Zyra coming out, which I assume that's going to be a Zyra jungle, which is a little unique here. Into Juggermaws, you typically want like a massive amount of engage and just dive onto, say, like Lulu or the Kog'Maw if Lulu does get separated. But this Zyra suggests that they're going to run into the Femboys comp, which is also a touch disjointed because Lucian Nami wants to go forward. Zyra does not. What up, Soup? But we see the Jarvan ban coming out, which I think that's a decent ban for both sides. But specifically, I think Femboys are okay with Jarvan being left open, so I was kind of curious on what that band is. I also think Coinflip needs to potentially ban the Mordekaiser here, just because separating Lulu from the group or Kog'Maw from the group can be really difficult to deal with. I mean, 4 or 5 item Kog'Maw can definitely deal with Mordekaiser, but if Mordekaiser gets ahead, he just ults the ADC and just stomps him. There's a there's not a rare chance of an AP Cog mid, but we do see coin flip getting rid of 2 more just divey assassin champs in the Zed and Silas. Femboy's getting rid of all of the hard engage junglers out here. Let's see, we still got Sejuani up. We still got a Bel'Veth would be interesting. I don't know if Bel'Veth is. I feel like you either want more engage or. So wait, is this a solo lane Bel'Veth or a solo lane Zyra? Okay, this draft from Femboys became very, very interesting here. Don, what's up, bro? So we'll see what this Femboys draft wants to be. And there's a Malphite coming in. That's weird. Lucian mid Zyra bot is your guess? Okay. I don't like the Malphite here, honestly. I don't like the Malphite or Vi at all here. Like, you're diving into Zyra Belveth now. Not. I mean, yeah, you can one shot or one combo to Belveth here, but your whole goal is to protect the Cogmaw. So when these two dive forward, you're just leaving your backline super exposed here. Okay, I do like the Vladimir here. Is able to dodge quite a bit of the engage if this does get locked in. And this will get locked in here, so we got a Vladimir R5. I do love this a lot. Problem is Vladimir, I don't think, ever gets through Lulu shields or heals. I just feel like there needs to be another enchanter here on the side of Coinflip. I mean, you did get rid of the Shen, uh, but I still think there's something like Ivern or what's a more supportive type of jungler? But XD are Geoprow already flaming his team in the chat because he's on Lulu duty instead of all these creative support picks he's came out with. Note the Leona was up. So, yeah. So, we'll see what ends up happening here. I'm still not 100% sold on where these champions are gonna go. Like, I think it's Vladimir top, Belveth mid is my assumption. Which Belveth mid is pretty solid into Ahri overall. What? So, interesting. The bands didn't line up, but okay. There we go. That looks a little bit better.
I'd rather be home anyway. I have more information. So I go.
So Belveth jungle Zyra mid. Interesting. Oh. Lucian mid, Zyra, Nami bot lane. Okay. That's quite interesting.
Deny me. Signaling cross. You can't cage me for long.
Let's see how this Zyra Nami lane goes. On paper, it makes sense. So, for those in here, what draft do you like? Who do you think's got the edge here as we load into the game? I feel like there's a I feel like there's two types of supports in the world. Supports that love Nami and supports that don't. So, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get myself something to drink real quick before we start into this big decisive Group A battle. Alright. Let me catch up with the chat. Don. People who don't love Nami can't land a bubble. I mean, that's pretty true. I got nothing. Serious question, Nami or Vaporeon? Ooh. That's a low-key harder than you'd think. Probably Nami, just because there's other better water types out there than Vaporeon. But we see Monk going pretty aggressive with this pick here. Electrocute, Ignite, Lucian mid. Alright. Oh, that's an interesting title. Also, we see Brandino on the Halo Blades Vi. We see the Ignite Vladimir coming out. So, really interesting rune and summoner spell setup here. See how this ends up going.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Mac into bringing TP as well.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And I believe this is our first Belveth of the split. So, seeing a couple of new and interesting picks. I don't think this is our first Cogmaw, but it might be like only our second.
Minions have spawned.
Some damage traded from the mid laners here. That auto Q double auto electrocute Lucian did a boatload of damage there. It's like 60% or like 40% of the health. Let's see how this goes. We see Zach already clearing the small camps topside here. Looks like he's already got a little bit of tempo. Raptors into doubles into red here. Brandino's still clearing his red. There he goes. Really, really aggressive trading here from Monk in the mid lane. Oh, and does Kruger fall? Kruger does not fall here when they flash ignite by Monk. Though Kruger will miss a few minions and about... I think he got most of that experience, so shouldn't be too far down there. But forcing the TP out early is pretty big. Once Monk gets the second back in him, he can go super aggressive again. Because of the TP timer being super long early again. So, this Zyra bot actually looks a lot like a Caitlyn, where he just perma pushes up, but obviously doesn't keep the pressure up to get plates or damage or anything like that. Gets a deep ward in the red buff, which is quite interesting here. So they know Brandino started bot side, which means Vlad has intel that he might get the first gank here. Nice charm overall. Monk does take a turret shot here, which kind of evens out the trade. Brandino's looking top side right now. Vladimir's ends up not... Okay, he uses the pull there. And kind of waits the flash away, so... Don't ban Yasuo. Just kind of not wanting to burn it. Oh! But Brandino in the brush there. Sees that he's backing. Charges up the Q, flash Qs. Q auto E's. They get the passive proc on W. And the first blood going over. Backs now with a full Caulfield's Warhammer. Oh, and Kruger ends up getting solo killed here by Monk Mentality. So I don't think he's seen that the W landed, so the W damage, or the W damage plus the passive proc, 'cause I believe W gives Lucian his passive, so it puts a little extra damage on those autos there. But we see a serrated Dirk coming out, Kruger coming in with a double Ruby's Crystal, so we're going to see the Roa build coming out of Ahri, which, I mean, I see both sides of it this game. Like, if you want to be a touch more frontliney for the Cog Maul, it's fine. But the way you're going to be frontliney is also scaling equally with it, so. And we do see some AP coming out of Matthias up top here on this Malphite. We do see the Femboy squad starting up this dragon here. With Zyra having a lot of the jungle buffs too, as she helps take the dragon quite quickly. And definitely even quicker with the Faded Ashes. A little bit of an electric proc. Brandino's still level 5, no flash. Kruger's going to end up falling again. Brandino gets the kill onto Monk here, so Kruger having a really tough laning phase against this Lucian mid here. Oh, Matthias going in onto this Vladimir here, gets him to about 20% health. Brandino does have ult here, so don't ban Yasuo, does not have flash. Ends up ulting here. Does get some healing back. See. Oh, but turns back around and gives Coinflip the feats of combat here. They did ended up trading 1-for-1. Brandino getting the first of these, all 3 of these kills actually. Here, so this Vi is going to start being able to do a lot of work here. I honestly think if you're backing with all this gold in the first 3 kills, you're looking at this Zyra Nami bot lane. There's maybe a world where you go like straight lethality and you're just trying to one-shot them. Potentially the same with the Lucian as well. I understand you're going to fall off very heavily and you're going to get completely murdered when you dive in late game against Zyra, but nice charm coming out of Kruger here. And here we already see Coinflip late to these grubs rotation here. I mean, both solo laners have priority, so it's hard for Brandino to walk in here. And this is not the champion you want to give grub priors to in Bel'Veth here. Kruger getting all in again here by Monk Mentality. Nami ends up giving him the E. We all see how the Lucian Nami lane works here. But Monk ends up trying to dive the turret. Kruger sidesteps. Oh, but a one-shot of don't ban Yasuo, please. Nice charm by Kruger there in a reaction. And I think he ends up getting Zac here. So Kruger gets on the board here after Zac ends up diving him between tier 1 and tier 2. Brandino does have ult here. Monk Mentality does not have much mana either. And the Hail of Blades coming in clutch there as well. And Brandino now 5-1 on this Vi. We see the Kog'Maw's Lulu lane trading heavily into Femboys here. Oh, we're seeing all in here from the Zyra. Here, Zac is down here as well. Bubble does land on Geoprow. Geoprow gets the knockup plus the slow potentially. There's another triple Q coming back and heals the speed up. So Geoprow burning everything he can to get out of there. We see a Malignance getting built up top here from this Malphite. He is being pretty fairly even in CS here. Only down just a touch. Brandino uses all of this gold on these kills to get an Eclipse here. So Coinflip up about 1,000 gold overall. Though we do see a lot of the monster neutral objectives going over to Femboys here. Oh, Brandino trying to get a quick Q in on Ashes here, but doesn't. Zac is in the rush. Oh, he splits the upright. Going after Ashes here, and Kruger ends up joining him. It was an interesting first item coming out of Monk Mentality here in the... what's that? That's not Knight's Vow. That is Edge of Night. I was close here. So wanting to try and stay. Oh! Oh! Nice reactions from Matthias. And trading 1-for-1 here. That's a full Eclipse coming out. I'm sorry, not full Eclipse. A full Malignance now coming out of this Malphite. And also, that's a dragon going over the Coinflip, so they're grinding. Ashes is going to end up getting jumped on here by Brandino. Brandino ends up flashing. See, do they end up getting Mac here? Brandino threatening a dive. See if the Kog'Maw. I forget how to say his name. Zac's up top, though. After all that, see if he can sidestep the E. He does not here, but I think Vladimir's a little too far away. Actually, if Malphite had ult, he just turns that. But we do see a touch of a late Roa coming out of Krieger here. But bot lane's on the board for Coinflip. It's honestly kind of the jungle plus bot lane versus the top side of the map, so we'll see how this goes. I do like Vi speccing into a little more damage here. And correct me if I'm wrong, this Edge of Night spell shield works the same as Sivir spell shield. If you Vi ult it and then smite early, it drops the shield. So there is a little bit of skill expression from Brandino that can happen. Ah, you seen the strangled Strangled Thorns? No, that's her ult. Seen the E coming out by Mac here. Matthias ends up ulting away here. I think Coinflip for as interesting of a comp as they've got. They've got this early lead that you know, they want to be in. They're tied up on dragons. Yeah, they lost a little bit when it comes to the void grubs, but all in all, like they kind of hemorrhaged the bleeding a little bit from the mid lane early game. But we do see Zac and Monk ends up taking the first turret here. Still no feats of strength taken over yet, but we see Femboys has 2 neutral objectives, so they need 1 more neutral objective, and Coinflip still needs 2 of them. Krieger getting all in by Monk again. Geoprow getting jumped on. See Brandino ulting Zac here, and Aristoteliel is on the fight. Oh, double knockup here by Brandino's Q. Ashes is going to end up falling. Krieger looks like he's going to get all in here by Monk and fall as well. So, oh my lord, Brandino. That is a boatload of damage. And I see a Brutalizer now coming out for this Lucian, so this could potentially be full lethality Lucian. Oh, but the Edge of Night Shield pops up. I don't think it's going to matter, and it's not. We have Brandino 8-1 now on this Vi. Believe that is, yeah, it's completed second item here. Though Femboys is going to get feats of strength from this Rift Herald, which again is not something you want to give the Bel'Veth, but it feels very hard to walk into with Nami Zyra. So it is kind of a I mean, I understand they all are working towards their first item and got it, but if you know you're about to get feats here, I think on that back you get the boots, just so you get this a big spike in free stats. Matthias looks like he's about to get Dove here. Never mind, so it just pops the Rift Herald. Brandino looking mid here. Mac ends up getting one shot by Brandino and Kog'Maw's R. This Vi feels like she's just absolutely unleashed on this map. Coinflip taking what will be their second Drake. Vi is just picking on this Lucian now. But we see them converging onto this bot lane. Geoprow uses ult to knock up Zac and slow him down. And I think ultimately he's going to slow away. See, Geoprow is going to end up falling. Matthias ends up ulting in here. And Kog'Maw gets the kill onto Bel'Veth. Don't ban Yasuo is trying to dive under turret and make stuff happen. But that ends up falling. Krieger uses ult here. Brandino ends up flashing forward. And it hits the R through damage as he R's Mac. And what's going to end up being a 4-for-1 in favor of Coinflip here. And now they are up 4,000 gold in this battle. See, Kog'Maw's now on 2 items, so he's going to feel really good. Oh, is that the Volcaic Cyclosword? voltaic cyclosword here out of Lucian, so quite interesting there. It's been forever since I've seen a Lucian mid, so I would have no context on the build. We've seen a Malignance and Sork Shoes coming out of Malphite here. Also quite interesting, but we now see he's going towards some tank stats here. Oh, Mac might just get ran down here. Ends up just barely surviving here. And this bot lane's going to feel like they can take over the world. Let's see, looking at the stacks on Zach here, he has 42 stacks, so about 30% attack speed. We do see Zyra TPing to this turret. That is one thing I will say. Femboys, even though they have an AD mid and a fairly scaly AD jungler, they do have a decent amount of wave clear coming out of Mac. But if they ever leave their turret, this Vi's just going to go full arcane on them. See, Matthias is going to get all in here by Monk, but ends up walking away here. See Krieger in this bot lane trying to battle Vladimir. Vladimir holding his W. And regardless, if he doesn't W, then, you know, they're just going to end up taking him out. Though Femboys does find the trigger to all in this Otacon. But a big, massive ult by Matthias.